So actually, the first thing I'd like to start with within this practice is to bring your attention to the three terminologies in the cybersecurity: authorization, authentication, and access control. Those are actually listed to us in order here. They are. It's not by hazard, but to tell you that the process or the let's say the action here or the behavior here, it is to be in the first scenario when comparing those three actions. Authorization has to happen at the beginning before the authentication. The authentication has to happen after the authorization and before the access control. Access control has to happen after the authentication has been happened. Means there have to be a validation from the authorization to start the authentication, another validation from the authentication to start the access control, and the access control to start once the validation has been set by the authentication. What we are going to do today is to play with the services inside the computer, because the services, they are given access to resources, and they are started resources, and they are given us in local machine. Maybe actually, if you are dealing with the local machine, rights to do or denials from actually either acceptance or, let's say, forbidden to do or not to do, to grant us access or not, to grant us use of a resource or not, things like that. So if a service is running, so we can utilize whatever is pointed by that service. If a service is stopped, we are not able to start or to utilize the service. It's not we cannot start, but there are restrictions to start or to use whatever is not pointed, or whatever the service or his service is stopped. So this is what we're going to do: the services and the access control, the service and the services rights mainly. What is a service, or what am I talking about? This is the first thing I'm going to guide you through. Let me swap the view to the machine, where we are going to have our practice. The machine is getting stuck again and again. Great. So here in this machine, we are going to do all the tasks. This is the Windows 10 machine. I'm going to start explaining to you what is a service. First of all, a service actually, it's a list of functionalities that the operating system is providing to the user. Actually, what are they doing? They are actually pointing a group of utilities inside the computer, and they are given a control in the sense of yes to run or not. Maximize the window. Here actually the list we see here, whatever we know them or not for now, it's not the point. But see, you can read and you can understand what are those things, as if they are applications, as if they are tools, as if they are appliances, the status of each here, it is visible to us. We can actually, if we have a chance to control, actually double click, and we'll be having to do whatever we want through the functionalities here. We are not able actually for this such actually the Adobe we are not able to do anything. It is for such for a reason or another we are not able to control. We will be able to manage such thing. So here you have a clear understanding. So an application running in the computer have a service, and the service is controlling. Let me keep this one open. If I ask you to disinstall or to uninstall an application, what you would do, you'll go to the control panel, and from here you search for the uninstall block window, and you are going to search for the application here from the list, and you select it and you'll uninstall it. Let's do the thing for the antivirus. In my computer here, I have an antivirus, I believe. Yes, the Kaspersky. Actually, this is the current machine. I'm going to use the virtual machine, but let me finish the explanation. I have an antivirus. He is not actually up to date, but Can I uninstall it from here? Here I can exit it only, but I cannot install, I believe. No, thanks. That's something actually for the scan. But I believe that I will not be able to uninstall it straightforward. There will be actually a service for the Casper Sky. For the Casper. Yes, here's the Casper Sky actually. The service actually, there have to be actually a service for this one. I can uninstall here, but there will be restrictions. I don't need to uninstall. I don't need to uninstall, and it will not give me actually even the remove. If I can, if I would follow it, it will not do. You know, here inside the campus, we have a restricted task to control the utilities, limited because we are not administrators. Who am I? CMD. Who am I? Actually, yes, I'm a normal user. I'm not administrator. I'm a normal user. I'm not an administrator in this computer. So let me swap to check the service for this Casper Sky. There have to be yes, here's the Casper Sky, and the service name actually double clicked, and this is the service name AVP. The service name. There is a service pointing to the given utility. There is a service pointing to the given utility. What is the status? Can I control it? Yes, no. Actually, it is clearly visible to me that I cannot here. The window is, sorry, the tools, they are the control buttons, they are deactivated. Full stop. The resource is available, but I'm not able to control. The point is actually here to manipulate those functionalities, tools, services, controlling the service, pointing a service to a function or to a tool. Those are what we're going to do today. Because if we can create a service and point it to a specific task without a control, without being blocked or limited, this is a vulnerability. Let me write it in a notepad to make you read and understand what I'm saying exactly. Let me write the phrase exactly. If we can create a service typo, following, if we can create service and point it to what? To a running process without the constraint here, without being limited. This is a vulnerability. This is a vulnerability typo. Breach. It's a breach. If a computer gives you the chance to create a service and you point it to a running process, or you to a process without being whatever, even if it's not running to a process, running or not, this is a vulnerability. Why it's a vulnerability? Because we may inject a virus and we create a service and we point it to the virus, because the process here, the process might be a malware, a virus, a Trojan, or a worm. If it is a worm, so whatever, if it is a malware in general, and we point a service to it, so we integrated the malware to the operating system. Who is providing this list of services here? Who is giving them to us? The full list here. It's the operating system, and it's the operating system who is controlling them. Actually, why we are not able to do? Because there is something running in background to block us from controlling this utility here. There is something controlling those services. So services in plural, they are not something to play with if you are not an administrator. They are not something to be utilized arbitrarily. No, they have to be controlled and managed clearly to avoid breaches. Is this clear? Do you understand what I said? I hope yes. Good. What to do now? Let's see how to manipulate the services and to see how to start a service, to stop a service, to run a service, to create a service, and how to modify the access rights. The access rights. Let's dig in. I'm gonna minimize. I'm gonna close this one. I'm gonna close this and install, and I'm gonna start the virtual machine that I have to utilize for the purpose. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna keep this one apart. I'm gonna start the virtual machine. That's the Windows 10. No updates. Great. Great. So the same way here, I'm gonna just list you the list of services just to make you compare services we displayed at the external machine and the one we are seeing here in the virtual machine. External machine is controlled. We are not able to stop or start through the graphical window. Here, the antivirus I have in this virtual machine. Let me put it in full screen mode. Yes, the antivirus I have in this machine is not started, not available, I believe. But I have the antivirus. Actually, it's the Casper Sky. Sorry, it's the Avast. Avast. Here it is. I have the Avast. Double click it. Avast antivirus. Yes, the Avast antivirus. Still, I cannot control because actually we are not allowed to control an antivirus through a service. It is a system. It is a system level. So as a normal user, we will not be able to do so. What does it mean as a normal user? We know since the computer, the digital security class, that users are the computer. That users are the computer. That users are the computer. Let me maximize the font. Yes. Users are, there are three. Number one is the current user. The second one is the administrator. The third one is what? Whom is the third one? Can you tell? Can you tell, please? The system. The third is the system. The most high privileged user of the computer is the system. So the user is the least privileged. The second one, the administrator, is an administrator. It is a high privileged, let's say, user. The most privileged is the system. It has the totality of the services. So I'm gonna try to run this service as an administrator. I'm gonna close it. So I'm gonna start the services again. Services. I'm not gonna press enter. I'm gonna run it as administrator. Yes, I search for the Avast, double click it. Still, as an administrator, I'm not able to stop. Okay, stop there. I'm going to start the command prompt, and I'm going to do all the necessary tasks to display the lists and the processes and the services, not the processes. And I'll solve the task as it is requesting us what to do. So CMD, I'm going to start the CMD. I'm going to say let me see the question what he's asking us. Actually, I need at the beginning I have to just display the services names in the command prompt. Actually, I want to say services. Right, nothing. It is actually to ask to display, but to start the service itself, the window itself. So I need to find a method to display me the get services, which is not recognized here. The get services is not recognized here, the CMD, but it is actually a PowerShell as per our guide. As per our guide, it is a PowerShell command. So I'm gonna swap to the PowerShell first of all. A PowerShell, not shell. Great. So I'm starting the PowerShell. Yes, it is starting. Great. Here it is CDPS, and if you refer to the guide, it is the same input. We have PS at the beginning, so it is PowerShell. I'm going to do the same command again. The get services. I'm going to type get services again. Yes. Get service. Yes. Okay. Yes. Those are it. Those are our services here. Those are our services. Those are actually the services in my computer, so don't expect that you find them the same in your computer. No, actually they are environment related, so it depends on my computer, it depends on what I'm installing, it depends on what I'm using, and so on. Let me see from the beginning. Yes, here actually we have descriptor, the status of the service at each. Let me search for the Avast itself, the one I need. Here it is. This is the antivirus actually I need. It is installing two tools. This is Avast. We have two services for this Avast. I have three services for this Avast. Even the reporter actually it is great. I'm going to utilize this one because I need to explain something to avoid the use of the space, because I have to specify the name between double quotations each time. I'm going to refer to the reporter only. It's easy to control. I'm gonna see what can I do with this service. I'll try to stop it. It's the antivirus. Every malware, virus, a Trojan, a worm, the first thing to do is to trespass the security set by the security appliance. Our security appliance is the Avast. So actually the three of them, they have to be stopped in order to avoid. They are running. The three of them, they are running. I'm going to try to stop this Avast reporter. I'm going to copy this tool, double click here to select, and then after copy from here. I'm copying. Good. I'm going to try to stop. So what I'm going to do, stop what? Stop the service. So stop, paste, enter. He said the term stop is not recognized. The command is stop service. I'm going to do the thing again. I'm making errors. Stop service. Here it is. Great. Now the error message is that this command is not actually possible to be happening. It's not errored. But it cannot be stopped. He's saying that this service cannot be stopped. It cannot be stopped. That's what he said. But the Avast reporter cannot. And this is trivial. Absolutely, this is the antivirus. No, the antivirus is not to be stopped by a command, because if it happens to stop this service by a command, means any virus or any antivirus would be actually able to stop. If this command succeeded and stopped the service, means that the antivirus is a very weak antivirus. Any malware will stop it. So in this case, it did not happen. Means the antivirus is running well. The service is not weak, and we can trust this antivirus at a level. So okay, let's dig in the rights now, and let's see who is controlling and who is not able to control, and so on. The first thing, actually, as we did earlier, who am I? I am a normal user. I'm a normal user. I'm going to elevate my right to an administrator. I'm going to elevate my rights as an administrator. Administrator. Run as administrator. The run, he said, is not recognized. I'm going to get out from the PowerShell. So I'm going to say exit. Let me run a different command prompt to avoid the commands. CMD, run as administrator. Yes, and let me, yes, here I am administrator. But here I'm not. Here I am normal command. Here I am administrator. So let me, what to say? The service I have copied. I'm going to just say net stop here. Net stop Why I'm doing net stop? Because stop serves is in PowerShell. Here we are not in PowerShell. We are in normal command prompt. We are in command prompt. The command is net stop. Let's stop what? The serves we copied earlier. What did I do? Let me copy it again. Yes. Let me come back. Here it is. Let me paste it. It is not pasted. Avast WSC serves create reporter. Great. The request pause, continue, or stop is not valid. It's not valid for this service. There is no error, but there is a message. This is a message that to pause or to continue to run it or to stop it for this service is not accepted. It's not accepted. For more help, this is the command I'm going to type. Let help message. He gave me a number. Actually, I have to follow the same number because that is the number for this particular command. Enter. He repeated the same message. He repeated the same message for me. What does it mean? It means actually, even for an administrator, which is the second user level, actually, the second user, administrator, we are not able to stop a service, whether we're using the PowerShell or the MS-DOS, the command prompt tool. We are not able to stop a service. Not any service, this particular service, this antivirus service. What can we do? What can we do? What can we do? The third utility, the third user, which is the system now. How to run as a system? We have to utilize the Microsoft produced, or let's say procured tool, which is the PSExec. Let's download the PSExec, the tool, to raise up our capability to be a system, So from the system internals to be a system, actually we pass through this step in the command of the computer security. Sys internals. I'm going to say PSExec. So in Google here, I'm typing PSExec command. Sys internal sys internal, and the tool is PSExec. I'm downloading the PSExec. Process executor. Actually, it is from system internal, and the system internal is from Microsoft only. It's from Microsoft, so it is very trusted. I'm going to download. I'm going to click this one. Here it is. Whatever the version is, I'm going to download it. It is Microsoft only, so it is very trusted. I download without any issue. I'm going to save. Open the folder to check it. And see it. Great. It is downloaded in downloads. Okay, I'm going to take it to. Okay, I keep it there. No. I'm going to take it to. I'm going to create a folder in my C drive. So I'm going to cut. I'm going to go to, let's say, C drive. And here I'm going to create a folder. Name it CyberSec. Great. I'm going to paste here. It is a zipped file. I'm going to extract everything from inside. Extract all. Yes, I'm not going to modify anything. The same location. Just extract. It opens. Close. Delete this. I do not need it anymore. What has been extracted to me? It holds the PSExec. Here it is. Everything, actually, we are going to utilize some of them, not all. We are going to utilize this one, and there is another one we'll utilize now. But for now, we need to utilize this one as a system admin. So from here, I'm going to do right-click. I'm going to press from the keyboard. I tell you what, you know the step. Right-click, shift, press the shift in the keyboard, right-click. You have the run the command prompt, I believe, or troubleshoot. It's not there. I'm going to maximize the window. Let me see. Shift, right-click here in any empty place. Also, let me check. Yes, okay. I deselected. I click it here once. Then Shift keyboard, right click. Here it is. Open PowerShell window here. Open PowerShell window here. Okay, I'm gonna. He brought me actually all the brought me to exactly to the exact position. I'm gonna say dir to check the content. Everything is there. He is the PS exec. Here it is. I'm gonna run a CMD as an administrator now. I'm gonna run the CMD as not an administrator but as a system. My purpose is to be a system, the third user. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna type the same name, this same name here, this same name. I'm gonna type PS exec. I'm going to run it as a system /-s, and I'm going to run interactive session to be to give me the chance to input, to output, and so on. Interactive, and immediately on what? On a CMD window, on a CMD window. Enter. He told me that is not recognized. Actually, because I'm using the PowerShell, isn't it? Actually, I have to specify the full path. What I'm gonna do, let me. Yes, exec, خلاص. It is the one I have to specify because I'm in PowerShell. I have to specify that I'm in local directory //. Then I'm gonna do the same command -s system -i interactive -d to do now. Let's say CMD. Enter. Plus. Actually, execute press remote. Let me see if anything has started. Could not install PS exec serves. Access is denied. He's saying access is denied. For this message only, see what how I'm gonna solve it. This access is denied. I'll reduce this PowerShell. I'm not closed. I'll come back to the administrator. CMD here, and I will navigate to where the PS exec is here, where we extracted it. I'm going to copy this path, and the administrator, I'm going to say CD space paste the path we copied. Enter. Now dir again, dir. Yes, here it is. PS exec. I'm going to do the same process. PS exec, the same spelling, -s system, -i as interactive, -d to say do now on what? CMD. Enter. Yes, now it was verified. Here it is. Here's the window. But who am I? He's saying I'm administrator. Let me type who am I? Who am I? Enter. System. I'm system. Mark. He's saying I'm system. Yes, as a system now, I'm gonna say stop the service I need. I need to stop this service. I need to stop the service we were talking. This one here. I need to stop it, which is the Avast copy. I'm gonna say this one. So let me cap to the system window. This is the one system. Let me change the font. Let me maximize the window. Font. Okay, much better. So I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna say net stop. Sorry, stop. I'm gonna type the same Avast WSC has been stacked. Are you able to see the window, please? Is it still visible to you?
No, we can't see.
Yeah, it has closed. So I'm gonna reshare it again. Did it appear? Did it appear?
Yes.
Great. So I said the same command, net stop service name, enter. still he's saying pause, continue, stop. They are not to be valid for such service. This antivirus, this antivirus, this antivirus, this service cannot be controlled this way. Why? Why? Because this is still, if you are a system, still, if you can do it by just a simple command, this is still a vulnerability. This is up to now, it's still a vulnerability. If you can do it by the 3 users, any of them, if they can, come on, if they can stop a service, if they can stop service, so this is a vulnerability. It's not accepted. It is not accepted if they can do so. It's not accepted. Vulnerability. What does it mean? It means actually, because it's a simple command. No, it's a simple command. Let's stop Avast. Before that, I did the PowerShell. Actually, I run the what is the administrator? I believe this is the one. Yes, this is the one. Before of that, actually, we launched just a simple command to launch the system as a user. Both of them, they are commands. This one or this one, both of them, they are commands. So a malware can do that. A malware can do that. It's a vulnerability. But for this case, no. This process cannot. It is clearly controlling himself, and it is not given the chance to even the system to stop him through a command. So full stop here. A process, it is to be given a chance to be controlled, but up to now, as per this service, we saw that the security is raised up. The access to this service to stop or to continue in this example here, it's not to be done through a command. What should we do in this context? What is it a point that leads us to say that the service is secured? No, still we cannot say that the service is secured and we finished. No, there is another thing to do. Follow me. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to see the access control list controlling such service. Actually, the ACL is not defined for this one. Get ACL is not defined. Actually, all of those commands, they are written in our guide. So refer to the guide, what I'm typing, they are available in our guide, in our data sheet. I'm executing those commands as a system. Remember that this window has been started as a system. I started it as a system, so I'm doing it as a system. So I'm the most elevated and privileged user, the system, and still he's not able to run those commands. I'm going to run the PowerShell. Typo, sorry, PowerShell. That's great. Yes, I am PowerShell now. Here it is. I'm inside. Let me type get ACL. Here it is. Great. Actually, this script here, it is giving me actually an access control actually for what? For the user, for the current user. Who am I? The system. Who? No space. Who am I? For the system. For the system I'm controlling. For the system. This is an access. Actually, this is something that we have to understand somehow. This is actually the access control list for the given user, which is the system. How to understand it, we see just in a way. I'm going to try to get the ID of this user in order to control it later on. But before of that, this user with his rights, we have to recognize that he's not able to. What happened? I'm not able to come back actually. He's not able, whatever. He's not able to stop a service, stop a given service. So I have to control the service from deep. What I'm going to type, actually, I'm going to see the structure of the service itself, how the service is actually made. What is the service name? What is the service name? The service name is, this is the service name. I'm going to put it apart and I come back here. I typed service create SD show. What I'm going to do, service descriptor show. Show what? The name of the service, Avast WSC reporter. I'm not able to see anything, and no errors has been shown to me. So I tried to display show service descriptor of the service given a name here. I'm going to exit the PowerShell, exit. And I'm going to do the same command again. Service create, service descriptor, show. And the name of the service here, Avast, yes, WSC, what reporter. Come on, reporter. And yes, now we have something different. Completely different even. What is this? This is something that we have to understand, but it's not to understand it. Just I'll tell it to you briefly. What I'm going to do, this is all the steps, they are available. All those steps, they are available in our guide. Don't worry. What I'm going to do, I'm going to just stream this output into a text file in order to be able to read it. I'm going to say the same command. Come on. The same command, but I'm going to say space greater than, and I'm going to give any name of a text file. I'm going to say Avast SDDL.txt. User defined. It's user defined. So any name you give. But here, because I'm going to later on know that this is for Avast SDDL security descriptor definition language, which is this message here. What we are seeing here. It's a description of the descriptor to the service in question, which is the Avast. So here the name I use, it's user defined. You write even your name, it's correct. .txt to say it's a text file, no more, no less. Enter. Nothing happened, but no error. I'm going to start now this. I'm going to start this text file. I'm going to type start. Come on. Start and the type of the name of the file, Avast SDDL.txt. Enter. Notepad, yes, I'm going to say okay. Here it is. I'm going to do word wrapping. Yes. Maximize the font. Let's say 26. Great. Now, what we are seeing here, actually, straightforward, without discussion, we have a description before D, after the D, sorry, and we have a system role. اللي تأتي بعد الS. What comes after the S? Here is for the system access control. This is the block that specifies the system role, and the description for the normal user for the current users. This is the block. No more, no less. So what the user can do, it is specified in this block here. And what the system can do, it is specified in this block here. All the letters, all of them, they are having a specification. They are having a meaning, letter by letter. And you see they are written in capital. Every letter has a meaning. We don't care. What we are going to do is that we are going to grant an administrative role. I'm going to just come to this one, to the last one, and I'm going to modify it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to grant an administrative role. A means administer or admin. It is true. I'm going to grant an administrative role to the current user, which is actually having an ID inside the computer. So I'm going to change this block. For example, I'm doing a hack to let the system grant an access of, see, I'm going to change this text, write the property, RP, read the property, and write the property. RP read property, WP write a property. To whom? To the user in question. I change the SU. The user in question has an SID, system ID. SID, system ID. And the system ID is specific to the user. Who is the user? Who's the user? The user actually talk about, actually, it was Murad. It was shown to us earlier. I'm going to say, who am I? It's Murad. This is the normal user. The system is not. It's not the one we need. We need the current user, because the system actually will not give us actually a system ID that we can control through the SDDL. No, but the current user, yes, the Murad or whomever, it's you, will have an SID that we can control through the SDDL. How to get the SID of this user? How to get the SID? From this same block, where we extracted the PS exec, we have another tool, which is the PS get SID. PS get SID, where it is PS get SID. Here it is. We have two, 64 bits and 32 bits. I'm going to use the 64 bit. I'm going to use the 60. I'm going to use the let me use the 32 bit, whatever, to avoid the long word. PS get SID. This is the one. I'm going to come back here. What I'm going to do? Nothing. Just I'm going to come back to the place where I am. I'm going to say. Did I miss anything actually? No, I did not forget anything. What I'm going to do immediately, I'm going to extract the yes, the PSID, the SID of the current user. I'm going to do it here from where Murad is pointed. I'm going to say the same name. The same name here. It's PS get SID. I'm going to say PS get. Here it is. Space Murad. The user. Enter. I'm going to agree because it's the first time we use this tool. And here is the SID. Here we got it. Here is the SID. This is the one. Here is the SID. I is saying SID for desktop Murad. It is this one. I'm going to copy this one. I'm going to copy this SID. I'm going to copy, select from here, edit, copy. I copied. I go to the text file where I wrote the read property and the W property, the write property. The SID here is what we copied. I'm going to delete and I'm going to paste here what we copied just in a while. Here it is. This is it. I pasted it here. It is the same. It is the same. I just made a copy paste. Now I'm going to give actually our ID, which is the Murad, which is pointed to Murad, is an administrator, and he has the capability to read and write what the process we extracted. The process, this is the descriptor of what, from where we got this thing. Let me copy it first. Let me copy it. From where we got it. We got yes, from this service here, this Avast WS reporter, this Avast. So we are going to modify now. We are going to modify the descriptor of this service. As we displayed as the show, we are going to set the new descriptor. I'm going to do SC space SD set space name of the sub Avast SC reporter WSC, sorry. I expect WSC WSC, it's the same spelling, no? Avast WSC reporter. Okay. At the end, space, paste. Paste what? Paste what we copied. This one. What we copied. This one. I come back here. edit, paste. Here it is. If you can see, we'll find Murad. We'll find here it is, the SID. RPWP, here it is. Just enter. Access denied. Access denied. To know that this is a very dangerous step. To know that it is actually a very crucial step. Failed, access denied. We cannot do. There is another step to do further. Just I'm going to show you that we can do it through the PowerShell also. But this is a note that it is a dangerous step to do, because if we can do that, means we are changing the current user, the user pointed with this ID, to be an administrator and to have the chance to read and write the read and write property for this current user. So if we can do it, we reach it to be really an administrator of the computer. Actually, at this step, before I continue, I believe that clearly it is mentioned to you and described to you, and I brought your understanding to that privileges and rights in the computer, they are not a simple click or just you have the mouse in between your hands. No. You see what I was explaining now all this time to show you that a service, to control it, it's not as simply just stop it and run it, right click and just call the command. All of it just up to now to just show you that we are unable to control a service because of some restrictions. Let's continue. So the restrictions, they are specifying the access control, actually. They are specifying the access control. I'm going to execute the same command, here. This same command. Sorry, this is not copied. Let's do it again. I'm going to inside the PowerShell. I said the PowerShell. Yes. Start with the PowerShell. Yes, I'm inside the PowerShell. PS. I'm going to do the same thing. SC SDCess Avast WSC reporter. Great. Avast WSC report. Yes, space, paste. Paste what I copied. This one, paste this one means. Let me copy it first again to be sure. Come back, edit, paste. Great. What I'm going to do, actually, press enter and I'll see no errors. It will not read because of the semicolons. The syntax is not accepted. So the PowerShell will not accept such a command for a reason or another. Actually, mainly because of the syntax, the semicolons, they are indicating things, actually, annotations and limits for the PowerShell. It is a statement-based the PowerShell, so you cannot pass the query based on using different. We're using many semicolons. So at a level, we are able to visualize the level or the capabilities of the users we have in this computer. Let me have a look on the guide. First of all before continuing. Yes, the access denied were reached. That's great. So actually, this is great if you just reach to understand what I just presented to you. There is another step, which is to create a new service, and point it to a running, let's say, function, to run a process, to run a tool inside the computer. This is the last thing I'm going to just show to you. Are you still seeing the screen, please? Is the screen still visible to you, please?
Yes.
I stopped it. I'm going to reshare it again. Yes, great. So the last thing, actually, in our guide is to create a specific. I'm going to come as an administrator. I'm not a system here. This is the system. I'm so normal computer. Who am I? I'm Murad. I'm normal administrator. I'm a normal administrator. So here I'm going to create a new service, and I'm going to point it to a running process. Means if we have injected a virus into the computer, we might have a chance to create a service to control that virus, to make it genuine to the computer, and to be an administrator using that virus. So let's do the task. First of all, I'm not going to generate a password. I'm not going to generate a virus, but I'm going to utilize any running tool just to show you the process. Creation of a virus or something like that, we can do it in future. So the syntax as per our guide, I'm going to just I'm thinking about what tool to use, actually, what tool to point to. Okay, let's use the same Avast. Let's use the same Avast. Let's create second virus. Let's create a second process for the same process we had earlier. The same process, this same process here, the same process. Good. Good. Let's do that. So to create a service and link it to the process, the syntax is the following: sc create yes. Okay, I'm going to say give the name of the service. I'm going to say Murad, my name, for example. Any name I need, it's user defined. It's user defined. Here I'm writing that my name to prove that it is user defined. Then I'm going to specify a path to the running process, to the running service. This one here, actually, I know that it is the Avast. I was kept thinking about, because I'm not able to. Let me just see for the Avast path. I'm going to say here Avast. Right click. No, open file location. Great, this is the one I need. Here it is. It is a shortcut, this one. No, it is not the one I need. Right click properties again. This is the path. I'm going to copy this path. I'm going to copy this path. Copy. Close. Close. Come back here. Murad space bin path. Bin path equals space double quotations. In between the double quotations, I'm going to paste. I delete the last quotation. First quotation, then paste. Paste what? Paste the path, and that's it. It came to me with the double quotation. So great. I'm going to delete the quotation I put at the beginning. So I'm going to delete, because I need only one double quotation. Good. Now enter. Create service success. Create service success. This is great. This is great. What does it mean? It means when I open the PowerShell, let me come back to the PowerShell here, and run the get services here. And do I have to find Murad service? It has to be appearing to me. It's not, my window is not showing. Let me come back here. I'm going to say PowerShell. I'm going to open PowerShell here. PowerShell. No, not need a PowerShell. No need a PowerShell. I'm going to come back to the graphical window, and let me refresh. I'm going to refresh from here. This is the window. Refresh. Murad. It's with M. Here it is. Here is my service. And I can run it even. I'm not going to run it from here. I'm going to run it from here. The service. I was able to inject the service. So net start. The name of the service. What is the name of the service? Here it is. This is the name. So I'm going to type the same thing here. Murad. Enter. Remember, it was writing to me start. Let me wait for it to finish, and we will see for Murad what would happen here. Let's wait for the process, for the task, for the command to execute. Service is not responding to control to the control function. It's saying it's not responding for a reason or another, because remember that this avast is already running. It's already running. So to start it again, it is already running. So it will not respond. This is for trivial. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to execute it again. Net start, right, enter. Not responded. Not respond. Actually, not responded. Why? Because it is clear that this avast is already running. So it is not responding for a reason or another. So at this point, I reached to explain you the. We can actually, there are other things to do. There are other actually. There is another higher level we can go further, but for an educational purpose and for an ethical aspect, we stop here. This is only for learning purposes. So if you have any questions, otherwise I'll stop at this level. I'll send you the video just right after now. Any questions, please? Any questions you raise? Let me send you the video also.